Peace, Infinite Waters diving deep once again. We are out here. It's a beautiful day. Breathing in that beautiful prana, baby. How to find your power through vulnerability. Can you imagine what you would do if you knew nobody would judge you? Right? You would have people having threesomes, walking around butt naked, going into different shops and dancing in different strange ways, right? You probably wouldn't go to work. You probably wouldn't do your homework. You probably wouldn't pay your rent. But you would definitely spend more time with a cat down the road. Can I get a hello? I got a question in from a woman who said she wants to be more vulnerable, right? But she's afraid. Let me share with you what's helped me along my journey as a psychologist, counselor, and infinite being. You see, in a very simple sentence, do something that scares the living daylights out of you. That is how to find power through vulnerability, right? Do something that scares you. Oh, did I just do that? Yeah, you did. Don't worry about it. Say something that frightens you. Go somewhere where you're going to get a lot of shocks going through your body, right? And the more you do that, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. But the more you do it, you're going to feel right at home, right? So when I started along my early journey making videos, I made a video called How to Decalcify Your Pineal Gland. Now, before I made that video, I was scared to put myself out there with these kinds of thoughts, these kinds of ideas which I was sharing. I thought, gosh, people might find me crazy, right? I was so scared. I thought, maybe I shouldn't do it. But that video now has over 1 million views and has helped millions of people all around the world. You see, when you are vulnerable, great things happen. You move more into your true authenticity. So once again, if you feel uncomfortable, that's a good sign, right? Look, so many of us, we want to paint a perfect picture of how our life is. I do that sometimes. Why? Because I'm not perfect, right? We want to show the world how well we're doing. Now, I speak of becoming your greatest version. What do I mean by that? Becoming, right? Becoming, ing. We're not finished. Oh, no, we're not finished. We haven't even started yet. Can I get a hello there? You gotta be happy with your perfect imperfections. You see, a lot of us, we love to share our joy with the world, but not our sadness. We love to post a picture on Instagram taking a selfie. You got your makeup on, you're going to the gym, you're working out, you look great. But you see, we never show to the world the vulnerable moments, like when you first wake up and you look wonderful, right? Look, I used to make videos with my hair all over the place. And I've got a very weird feeling that is why I connected with so many millions of crazy deep divers, right? Because they accepted me with my hair all over the place, right? you got to expose yourself before other people do. Just like in 8 Mile, hit the beat. Yeah, I'm this, I'm that. I do live in a trailer with my moms, right? I've done a lot of that. I've shared how after becoming a psychologist, I had a breakdown, but the breakdown was actually the breakthrough. It moved me in the direction of my true life purpose. It moved me to my higher calling, right? So when you are going through a dark night of the soul, it's not negative. You see, vulnerable people are some of the most powerful people I have met because they expose themselves, right? And that means you don't have any ammo to attack them with, right? So the great paradox of being vulnerable is that when you are vulnerable, you now open up yourself to the world, right? You got to get more intimate with yourself. You see, it's great to be in great crowds, but if truth be told, it isn't easy. I'm not here to tell you that becoming your greatest version is easy. I've been a vegan for over 10 years. Do you know how hard that is? Can I get a hello there? But I love it, right? I love making videos, but I've made so many mistakes. To be vulnerable, you've got to be okay with making mistakes. What's the difference between a master and a student? The master has failed more times than the student has even tried, right? To be vulnerable, you got to be okay with falling down, and you got to be okay with reminding yourself that people are going to benefit from your story. You see, that's why I always say, this is what's helped me along my journey. Do you know how many emails I receive every single day by people saying, thank you? You went through that crazy mess and now, well, I don't have to go through it, right? And I'm like, don't worry about it, right? People learn through our mistakes, our flaws. That will be the greatest gift you can share to humanity. To be vulnerable, you have to wear your hearts on your sleeve. You see, many of us, we're living upstairs. And I always tell people, I'm counseling people daily as a psychologist. When you are stuck in the mind, what happens? You are predominantly living in the ego. You see, the subconscious mind is our body. The heart is more powerful than the brain. That means very vulnerable people know the secret of moving more into their heart space. How do they do this? Well, they surrender, right? Because a lot of us, we're defending ourselves all the time. Defense is attack. Let me explain. You see, when you are vulnerable, like the rose, a lot of people just stare at a rose, admire its beauty, but more so, are so surprised that such a beautiful flower is out in the open, right? And that's why don't pick a rose, leave it. Leave it alone. right? When you are moving more into your heart space, your relationships become more authentic. It's not just, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, fearful, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. No, your relationships take on a whole new meaning. Your relationship towards yourself takes on a whole new meaning. So going back to the first question we asked, can you imagine what you would do if you knew nobody would judge you? Right? Look, the first time you became embarrassed was the first time the ego emerged. There is nothing wrong with your ego. But you see, the heart has to lead you. The ego is more like a cheerleader, right? Okay, so once you fuse the two together, now you find the power in vulnerability. By speaking what's on your mind without fear of judgment. Let me repeat that. By speaking what's on your mind without fear of judgment. I talk about how eating healthier plant-based foods have helped me. And I keep repeating it because, well, it's the plain truth. Can I get a hello there? It feels marvelous. Right? You got to remind yourself that when you open up to people, they begin to open up to you. That's the secret. The reason why I have connected with millions of people all around the world is because I am opening up to people. I'm not just showing you that my life is all gravy. No, absolutely not. I still have a lot of challenges, but at the same time, I don't care. You can judge me all you want. It's not going to stop me. Can I get a hello there? Once you realize we are never alone, the universe always sends someone. When you go into the wilderness, you might be alone. That's what you think, but you're not. Because you are developing this intimacy with yourself, allowing yourself to become vulnerable, which in essence is how you find your greatest strength. So fear not being vulnerable. In fact, it is the gateway to becoming your greatest version. You don't have to be perfect. No, you just have to be you. So poetical, because it's a beautiful day. We are breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Much love to all the deep divers. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace.